listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings. We're talking baseball. It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Hopefully you can hear me this week. I know we've been getting some technical difficulties the last couple weeks. Orange and blue thing. I'm Darren, Meenan. That's Julia Quadrino.
Hello.
You are a Met fan, probably, if you're watching this show.
I hope.
Yeah, for the past couple weeks, as you've known, if you watch the show or listen to the show afterwards, I even got a couple like hate emails. I don't know. I didn't tell you.
Love a good hate email.
Someone's like, you need to hire a production manager. I'm like, probably do, but we've gotten 5 seasons in where I'm doing the hosting and the producing at the same time.
It's fine. You're a one-man band.
I'm trying. Well, I now have.
I'm the backup singer.
Too.
It's fine.
And you're also going to be Amelia on Saturday.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be.
So I didn't tell Kelly
Amelia
yet, but we
Meenan.
have 3 tickets to the game on Saturday because, obviously we are family. So I purchased 3.
Right.
Amelia can't come. You don't have a ticket. You are now Amelia.
Let's go. As of 5 minutes ago, I am the new Amelia.
Yeah, you are. You're. I'm basically your dad now.
All right. Now it's getting weird. Now we've crossed over into something. My plan is to pregame with Kelly in the back of the 7-line truck on the way over, which I don't know Amelia would be doing, but could be wrong.
She would not be. But breaking news, the 7-line truck will be rolling to the game for the first time since 2019.
Sorry if I spoiled that.
No, it's cool. That's what the show's about. We're here to talk about baseball stuff.
Cool.
And
sometimes
this happens to be something that's pretty much baseball related. So the 7-line army is going to be back to 100% strength on Saturday at Citi Field. And when I say 100% strength, I mean every seat's going to be taken.
Yeah.
Granted, some members are not vaccinated and they don't like that I'm saying we're 100% because they can't go.
Right.
So
that's not what it
means. No
means.
Disrespect to you if you can't go, you don't want the vaccine for whatever reason, that's your decision. Mm-hmm. When I say we are back to 100%, I mean the section will be
physically
filled.
Can be filled.
Just got a progress report from the Mets. There are 13 tickets left, probably less now. Maybe they're gone because I already tweeted about it. But as of like an hour ago, there were 13 tickets left, plus like 6 ADAs. So if you need ADA seating, they're available as well. Go to Mets.com/the7line army after the show because I don't want you to leave.
Yeah, don't leave yet. They'll still be there after
for the
show.
Next 57 minutes. Probably not, but
get a second screen.
Yeah, pull up a second screen, purchase tickets, and head on out to Citi Field on Saturday. The Marina lot, I just found out, will be open. So we're back to the marina. Basically, if it's a day like today, it's going to feel like we're going to the beach.
Yeah, which I am doing right after this show. I have my bathing suit on underneath my clothes right now, and I'm out.
Last night, Julie was like, "Can we do the show at like noon? I want to go to the beach."
I need to go, and then I had to move it to 1 anyway for dog-related things.
Well, originally we were going to do a later show because I was coming back from West Virginia.
Yeah, which we'll get to. Apparently, there's West Virginia drama.
There's no drama. I did go to West Virginia. If you want to get into it right now,
let's do it.
So
share the show.
I spent like what? It took me 8 hours to get there because it was raining. And on Saturday, it took me like almost 7 to get home because by the time I got to New York City, it was a ton of traffic. So I spent, 15 hours?
That's too much.
Of driving for like a few days of being there.
Okay, but why were you coming home on Saturday? You were not supposed to. And you did not race?
This is we're being honest here with the viewers and with you.
The fact checkers.
The second I got there, I felt very guilty. So Amelia's, let me backtrack.
Oh, I know where this is going.
I committed to going to this regional when the schedule came out like November. The world was a very different place. COVID was still very, a big thing and things were getting canceled left and right.
Right.
I knew that Amelia's recital was in June and in my mind, I was like, it's getting canceled.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. I'm going to commit to this race. And if things happen in the summer, we'll change. We'll figure it out.
Right.
So as things started to not get canceled, I was like, well, I already paid for the registration. I'm going to West Virginia.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? And I'm telling myself, there'll be other dance recitals. It's not that big a deal. So I went. And obviously Kelly was not happy. And
right.
I wouldn't be, I did the wrong thing. So I get there, pull into the parking lot of the track Thursday. There's no cell phone service. I'm there by myself. I didn't know like any other guys that were there really. There were other people there, but they were like spaced out.
Right.
So I'm by myself, like just can't do anything. Like there's no distraction.
Yeah.
I probably should be home.
Just stewing in guilt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I rode on Friday. Now my ears are messing up.
It's okay. Yeah, hit
I
it.
rode on Friday.
Why does that work?
The practice day. And, I felt fine. I was riding the track. I definitely wasn't the slowest guy. I remember I was like, oh, I'm going to get smoked.
Yeah.
I wasn't the slowest. I wouldn't have won, but I wasn't the slowest. And then woke up on Saturday morning, and that was the race day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do the first race because there's 3 races.
Right.
1 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. I was like, I'll do the first race, do as well as I can just to do it, and then I'm going to leave.
Right.
So I had it in my head already. I was leaving. So when I get to the line for my first race, I was like, I'm going to win this fucking thing. I was like, let me just win and go home.
Uh-huh.
And which is weird because you don't win anything for winning 1 race.
Yeah.
So the gate drops. I get a horrible start. I'm in last place in the class I should probably compete or win, right? So I'm coming down.
Kelly had like a Darren voodoo doll and was like, no.
I was coming home. She's like, I'm glad you're coming home. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Like I made the wrong choice. Probably shouldn't be here to begin with. But,
right.
I'm doing the right thing. I'll be there for the recital. Uh-huh. So I'm coming on this downhill section. This guy sees me coming. And I'm not like, I said this to Lizzie before, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm like, I'm not the fastest guy, but I was probably the fastest one out there. So I'm trying to fucking fight through traffic, right? Sees me coming, cuts me off. I flip over the handlebars. Jam my thumb, which is like twice the size of my other one. And the bike lands on me and I'm stuck underneath the bike.
No way.
So my leg, I wasn't hurt, but like my leg was stuck. I'm like, I can't get up. So I'm like jiggling my leg out.
Oh my God. He straight up utleyed you.
He knew I was coming. Yeah. He knew I was coming. He's like, it's part of racing.
That's
no big deal. You get cut
Defense.
off. So he cuts me off. I flip. I'm on the ground and I'm underneath the bike. And I'm like, why am I even here? I should be home.
Darren had like a life moment. Like, why am I here?
And now I'm in last place. Like,
under a bike.
Under the bike. So I get my leg free, start the bike up again. It's like 40 seconds. Like,
right.
Everyone's gone.
You're just finishing.
But it's a 5-lap race. It's a long track. It's the longest race that I've done yet.
Right.
Like 4 laps. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Catch at least
hit it again.
Some people, you know? So I ended up passing 2 people.
Perfect.
And I didn't get last place.
Then
I packed up and drove directly from West Virginia to Long Island to a surprise 40th birthday party.
Oh, that's fun.
It was a Gatsby theme, and I show up in shorts and t-shirt.
You're your own Gatsby.
So that's the story to the fact checkers. I'm sorry if the sound is off. I don't know. This fucking thing. I don't know what to do here.
One of these days we're going to figure it out.
I do need to hire someone, and that's the story.
Maybe.
So
send us a resume.
I went to the race, and I stopped for some sparklers on the way. So it was like the most expensive sparklers.
Literally, Darren sends his picture. It's just a shopping cart filled with fireworks.
No, just sparklers. Fireworks are illegal.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
just
what
sparklers. I went and got sparklers and brought them home to Long Island for our sparkler party, the America party, as Amelia calls it.
I love it.
And you're now Amelia.
I am Amelia, the America party. Let's rage.
So that's a story with West Virginia. I was pumping it up so much. I'm like, oh, West Virginia, I'm going to the regional. And then I get there and I'm like, I should probably go home.
Okay, so let's focus on what's important. How did Amelia do at her recital?
Sick.
Awesome.
She was awesome.
That's all we care about
today. She did a great
today.
job. She was happy I was there.
Let's go, Amelia.
And that was it. So came home and that's the long story short. Or the short story long. That was like 10 minutes now.
Whatever.
Show.
We got to eat up some time. It's fine.
Instead of the wedding recap, now it's just like Darren goes to West Virginia recap. But listen, if you guys are watching live,
snap it to the chat.
If you have Snapchat, you can do that. But
post it on your wall.
Post it on your wall if you're watching on Facebook. That's how you get put in the running for the free stuff. We give away some stuff each week. It is not sponsored by Coors Light, but it is Coors Light stuff. They sent us a whole bunch of stuff, which I guess we could start bringing to tailgates.
Heck yeah, we can.
Originally why we had it, but we give these away each week. So it's a short-sleeved, hooded T-shirt. It's not a sweatshirt. It's like a hooded T-shirt, and also a Coors Light tumbler, which also fit their slim cans of the seltzer.
Those are going to be really clutch for tailgates.
Oh, awesome. So you could either, Lizzie brought it to one of the tailgates. So you either unscrew the top.
Lizzie loves it. You can't hear her, but she loves it.
And slide the can in, or you could pour it out and it fits good. So share the show right now. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the retweet button. That's how you get put in the running. And we will select the winners towards the end of the show. It's really bothering me that my ears are being raspy.
Does it? I need to know, fact checkers. Is it unbearable? I mean,
it must have something to do with my voice, because I plugged in all of this stuff from the other microphone area.
Right.
Your microphone is always fine.
It's fine.
Why?
I don't know. But when you hit it, it fixes it.
I'm Fonzie.
I don't think you're moving it too much. Like, it's not like it's. I don't know. Somebody send us a resume if you know anything about microphones, and maybe Darren will pay you money.
We don't want to put anyone else on payroll. It's been like this since the start, where it's kind of like, Lizzie and myself.
It's fine. We'll just We'll Google it. We'll just Google.
Well, Danny wants a job. Danny's back from college.
Oh.
Something to do. I haven't actually. Here you go, Danny. If you're watching this Saturday, you want to help me out, do like the stories on Facebook or something. I'll give you a job for Saturday. So, Danny, if you want to get back in the mix, someone's saying the cable's going bad. I switched the cable.
Oh,
you know
no.
what I'm gonna do here right now? Talk amongst yourself.
Oh my God. I hate. Okay. That was my. Okay, we're good. I'm back. Sorry, he unplugged my.
This is like probably the worst thing to fucking do in the whole show, but I'm doing it.
All right, so we'll just do it. So what do we want me to talk about?
Okay, how about that?
Okay, perfect. That
so
was
I
terrible.
completely changed it to a new port. I bet you that works.
I am so codependent. Never do that to me again.
Maybe port 1 is just like bad.
All right.
So
we don't like port 1.
Anyway, that's the story with that. So Saturday night we are going to be back at Citi Field, and if you want to join us, cool. This sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Wow.
Screw port 1.
Yeah, port 1 is horrible.
Done.
So the Mets are 29 and 23, first place in the East.
Yeah, let's
They're still making things happen. The ReplaceMets and the Bench Mob, even though they're not really many ReplaceMets left. I mean, Dom's back, Pete's back.
Right.
They are still playing.
Pete got hit. Did you see yesterday in the game? He got hit by a pitch on his elbow. He stayed in the game, looked fine, but it looked painful. I'm dreading. I don't know. I need to see him on the field tomorrow to feel better.
Did you see Paddock's comments after the game? No. Like, because they wasn't like beef, but back in 2019,
well, I remember
when
that
like
fondly.
he's like, he was mad that Pete won Rookie of the Month.
He was like, I should have been Rookie of the Month. He's like, but no worries, I'm aiming for Rookie of the Year anyway. And then Pete won Rookie of the Year anyway. Ron Darling and Gary were like abusing him.
Right.
It was so good.
After the game, I guess it came up like, Pete's a great competitor. It's part of the game. Like,
right.
Honestly, if I was a player too, I would love to just like start, not talk shit, but like a little, kind of jabs at each other. It's part of it. You're an entertainer, and this is a sport where you're trying to get people to watch it,
right. And it's fun.
Yeah, totally. So Pete, got a hit off him yesterday, so that was good to see. But for the Mets to go into San Diego against a team who is playing so well, they got Tatis, they got stars in their team, and to go get out of San Diego with a split, that's a win.
Especially with a team nowhere near full capacity, if we're being honest. I mean, Dom and Pete are back, but
right.
There's still a lot of pieces, a lot of people playing that I don't know who they are. So.
Well, if you haven't seen, they're not doing the expanded playoffs like they did last year. So they're going back to the 10 teams. So the way that
I did not know that.
The way that I'm seeing it unfold right now, the Giants are great. The Dodgers are great. The Padres are great. They're probably going to take both wild card spots.
Yeah, they're trouble.
The West Coast is stacked.
Yeah.
So if the Mets are getting to the playoffs, they have to win the NL East.
Yes. Oh, completely.
Right.
And they have to win the NL East, and they have to be healthy when they do so.
The wild card is not coming out of the NL East this year.
No.
Right.
And I have confidence they can do that. They need to go on a run here because the NL East is so weak right now. A lot of teams in the NL East are hurt and playing down right now, and you need to take 2 from Baltimore. It's Baltimore. And then
I'm going.
You're going to Baltimore?
Yeah.
Love that. We can talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. So I didn't tell Lizzie yet. Lizzie, I'm not working Wednesday or Thursday.
Lizzie just face palmed.
I just decided this morning when after I drove already 1,000 miles this week.
I'm pretty sure Harvey's going to be pitching again.
Yes, we're going Wednesday night. So it's going to be Walker versus Harvey Wednesday night. Already got my hotel.
Wow.
But I said this morning to Kelly, I'm like, what are you doing Wednesday? You want to go to Baltimore? She's like, yeah, I'd love to.
Awesome.
So we're going.
Cool.
So we're going Wednesday morning after Amelia goes to school, drop her off, go to Baltimore, go to the game, probably stop at Pickles. Did you ever go there?
I've heard of it. I haven't gone there.
So Pickles is where we stopped for our pregame in 2015 when we went down.
Oh, yes, I was there.
So,
I was there.
Yeah,
I was obliterated.
It was fun. Pickles
responsibly.
Pub. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Always responsible when we're drinking our Coors Lights. So that's the deal with Wednesday. And then I guess I'll come back to work on Friday. So
maybe if he feels
even though that is work, that's my job.
Yeah. Bring home a win and it's fine.
It's my job to go to baseball games.
That's true.
No offense. So I'm going to go to Baltimore and I'm working.
Perfect.
So that's the deal. If you guys are going to Baltimore too, maybe I'll see you down there.
Love that. But yeah, they got to win those games.
Yeah, some Coors Lights prior at Pickles if you want to come down and hang out. So
perfect.
Yeah, of course. I was talking to Kelly's mom last night, who just became a great big Mets fan. And my brother-in-law too, who I don't think ever watched sports, but now he's like, oh, I watched the game last night. I'm like, oh, it's awesome.
Oh, only so, like 10 years.
Yeah. So she was saying something like, oh, what's up with this team? They got to, keep it up. I'm like, yeah, of course. But, think about it over the years. The thorn in our side, like the Marlins.
Yeah.
Or let's say the Orioles, whatever. Teams that you're supposed to beat, you
gotta
don't
beat.
But they don't.
I know.
And then you'll go to San Diego and split against with the Padres.
But that has to be the difference this year is because, somehow they're staying afloat, not playing at full capacity. the teams you should be beating right now are the easy ones. Those are the ones we're expecting you to win. And it's great that you're splitting 2 from the Padres, but like, if you're gonna, the Dodgers scare me, the Padres scare me, especially in like a playoff atmosphere. And by the end of the season, again, that's 2 to 3 more months on everybody's bodies. People are more tired. They need to have as many people that it's physically possible to have back and playing at the top of their game by the playoffs, or I'd be kind of nervous.
Right.
So but
also getting like Cookie and like Noah and like all these guys. But back I think we talked about this last week. Yeah. When they would get guys back at the end of the season,
it was like making
off
a
the
trade.
IL. It's like, oh, they made a trade.
No,
but they're piecing things together now with like Drury.
Right.
And Peraza and like all these guys that are playing that shouldn't necessarily be on the team.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is, especially, the rest of the division is so weak right now too. That's what you need to capitalize on right now. Like you have a 3.5 game lead. Well, run away with it now.
The best about like sports talk radio this morning was, not so much about like, the Mets and the positivity around the Mets, but how many people are now like jumping off a cliff about the Yankees. Like Yankees get swept, like fire Boone.
Oh my God. I saw a wonderful tweet and it's so true. You have followed or seen Frank Fleming's his whole shtick.
But I don't know if we talked about this. I had to unfollow him.
I did too. I unfollowed him last week.
I like him.
I do too, but I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody tweeted, the Yankees are what Frank Fleming thinks the Mets are. And it's the most accurate thing I've ever heard.
Well, like the Mets will be losing in the first inning. He's like, game over.
He's like, this season's going nowhere. This team has no heart. I'm like,
well, speaking of tweets, I was talking about this, or I was writing this on Saturday night because I got home and I was able to watch the game because my service, as we talked about in West Virginia, was horrendous. Right. So I had no idea what was going on Friday until the game was over. But Saturday, when Lindor had a nice night, and I wrote something on Twitter like, I guess people are gonna have to start like deleting tweets, you know, because like it's the kind of thing where I understand he did suck in the beginning.
Yes,
he would admit it too. He did suck, but it wasn't for lack of effort or lack of trying and lack of talent. And that a guy of his caliber is going to bounce back and going to go on a run of a successful streak. However he's been over the past week or two. So like. I was never overly. I'm never going to bore players anyway. But I was never on one side of the fence or the other of being like so anti a guy to put it in writing. Like
I know,
like McCann's a bust or who was playing great.
Yeah.
And let's think of it this way. Backtrack a little bit. McCann always thrived when he didn't have an everyday role. If he was like sharing catcher position, I don't know how many games he's had as like his average per year. But to share the catching spot with Nito and then also filling it first when like either Dom or Pete can't play, it works. He'll thrive.
Let's do it. And Nito's been, you can't ask for more from Tomas Nido this year. Right. I remember, and I will say this out loud. I remember going into the season, I was disappointed we didn't get Real Muto. Not that I thought James McCann was going to be terrible. I just didn't think, they're not the same. And so then to have Tomas Nido as a backup, I just thought that was such a weaker option than what I thought they could have done. Yeah. And I am happy to eat some crow. Not that I genuinely don't know how Real Muto's been doing, but I know he was hurt for a while. But Tomas Nido especially, I feel like I owe an apology. Not that I ever said I never put it in writing, but I definitely did not think he'd be as big a part of this team as he is. And it's been freaking awesome to watch.
Like most athletes or anyone who does anything, repetition and
getting consistency and playtime
is how you get good at anything. And, not like I kind of just like contradicted myself a little bit saying that like, McCann's better when he's not playing consistently, but still, knowing what your role is,
it also takes the pressure off him a little bit. Like you can't hate that Tomas Nido's picking it up because I feel like there'd be a bigger spotlight on McCann not producing if no one did.
But I think like the whole bench mob attitude and that was great for him because now it's like he's part of like he's not just the guy on the bench that fills in for Wilson Ramos, whoever he was playing for. Yeah, he's part of the mob.
He's a whole mobster now.
Yeah. So let us know where you're watching from. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. If you're watching afterwards on YouTube, hit that little subscribe button. If you're listening as a podcast, hit subscribe as well. Share it, rate it, tell your friends, do all that good stuff.
Yes.
We are a live show. We are a pretty visual show, even though we're not showing anything now besides our pretty faces. But we like to highlight some of you guys where you're from. So let us know in the comments. We got Kevin Kelly in Seattle. Seattle was a fun time. Did you go to that one?
I missed that one.
Mets lost, but that was fun.
I know.
Tom Mulcahy in Louisville, Kentucky.
Ooh.
So we got Kentucky and Utah. We got another one in Utah. Maspeth, Queens. bunch of people. So
all over the place.
Share the show, Chandler, Arizona. Share the show, and that's how you're putting the running to win the free stuff. We'll get to that, to the winners from last week a little bit later in the show. So let's talk a little bit about cheating. Not on your spouse or your loved one, but
I can talk about that forever if you want.
Cheating in baseball. Man, I should have had a button ready for that.
You knew it. You were setting yourself up for
yeah,
that,
I guess. Cheating in baseball. And MLB came out recently and said that there will be a 10-game suspension for any foreign substance used. So that could be anything that they see on the ball, anything that's sticky on a glove or hat, whatever.
Right.
But if you listen to analysts or listen to sports talk radio, which is sometimes a cesspool, like Mets Twitter would be.
Yes.
It is a known thing that pitchers do use something sticky, and it's not for an advantage on them. It's like to help with control, help to not hit batters.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You're almost to take it away completely is almost dangerous.
Right.
That's how, especially when you have people throwing 100 miles per hour regularly. That's the norm now.
But
People
then where's
throw
the line
100.
in the sand? Like, how do you say like some people can, or I think, the same with like licking your hands. It has to be like over or under a certain amount of degrees,
right.
or blowing on your hand or something like that. So I don't know where the line is in the sand of what is and what isn't allowed.
Right.
But we talked about this, like with like the different balls being used for deGrom to be as good as he is a couple years ago when the ball was flying out of the park, and now he's even better now, which is incomprehensible.
Insane.
Is that the right word? Incomprehensible? That's the right word.
Sure, yeah.
I think I said uncomprehensible.
Henshable. You had like a list there for a second.
I like forgot how to speak for a second. So
live show.
Yeah, I was just having a stroke mid talk. So so for deGrom to be getting better, when the rules are changing is crazy. But so last night, I guess the guys were on their flight to Colorado, which was probably pretty fun because everyone's tweeting during it. Like Trevor May, who pitched yesterday. I like when after each game that he pitches or any game.
He's always done this for every team he's been on. He'll say, "Let's go," whatever team it is.
Okay.
So after every game, I think is it every game or every win?
Every win.
Every win. He'll say,
he's not
"Let's
do
go."
it after a loss.
I know, but every win he's "Let's go Mets."
After every win, he writes "Let's go." I just wrote whites instead. I just said whites instead of rights. Man, I'm shot. After every game, he writes "Let's go Mets" on Twitter. But last night, I guess the guys were they caught wind of this tweet that went up.
Some bored Yankees fan who's just so mad that Garrett Cole is nowhere near as good as Jacob deGrom, and it was supposed to be a whole thing.
Yeah, with deGrom, who has a 0.67 ERA now.
I think it's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So someone posted this screenshot of deGrom touching his belt or something.
He touches his belt
pants.
and then he does one swipe of his glove like this, but like that could literally be anything.
Right, exactly.
Pitchers are allowed to touch their gloves.
But people wrote that he does something with his belt after every strikeout, which I haven't noticed. I guess it's dating back to like his debut in 2014.
Right, but they're not talking about the belt thing. There's like a quick little after he touches the belt.
Right.
But even so, a pitcher is allowed to touch their glove. Who knows? Like maybe there was, I don't know, sweat or something on his belt and he was wiping it off on his glove, so it wasn't on his throwing hand.
Let's get to this really quick. So this fan, I don't know who pointed out. This guy Dave,
it's a Yankees fan,
wrote
Jacob
cheats, or since it's not Bauer or Cole, we don't care. LOL. So then he got quote tweeted by Tomas Nido, who I pointed out in the beginning of the show, like in the beginning of the season of our show, that you should follow Tomas Nido because he's great. He said, "I promise you, he doesn't use anything. If he did, they would be lucky to even foul tip the ball." And then they started CCing other players so they could chime in. So he CC'd McCann. Then McCann wrote, "I can confirm the GOAT is substance free. Can you imagine if he did use something? CC Stro." So I'm like, we texted about this, you and I earlier. Yeah. Like they're probably like yelling in the plane, like, "All right,
check Twitter.
Yo, you're up." So then Stroman writes, "I can confirm as well. deGrom is the GOAT. Is the GOAT.
Double GOAT.
CC Walker. Walker chimes in. "I can confirm. The GOAT doesn't need it. CC, I am Trevor May. Trevor May, I can confirm. He's just way better than all of us. Confirm Pilar." So Pilar was the first guy to chime in that wasn't a pitcher.
Right.
And he wrote, "I'd bet my paycheck on it that he doesn't use anything. He might be from a different planet though." CC Steve Cohen.
Who signs his checks.
Yeah. But Steve Cohen didn't reply.
Steve Cohen was asleep. It was 11:45 p.m. and he was, I'm guessing, not on that plane. So he was probably asleep.
Right.
I know he definitely knows how to use Twitter, but honestly, that may be lost in his mentions. He might not have even seen it.
Well, I just like, he's always been, well, not always, because he did take his little break there after GameStop.
Self-care is important.
But I love how great this sounds, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's
Port 2?
Now I'm on Port 3.
Port 3, let's go.
So Port 1 is just canceled.
No, Port 1 is trash.
Which we'll talk about canceling stuff in a second here.
Love that for me.
But yeah, so Port 3. I'm a Port 3 guy now.
Port 3.
I'm on Wave 3.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna write this down for the recap later.
Port 3?
Port 3. I always forget what we talk about. Port 3.
So yeah, Steve Cohen, who took a little break there during GameStop, he likes to chime in almost like poking the bear a little bit, like,
yes.
it's not very negative after the DeGrom pitches, or everyone's pretty happy on here after a win, Well, clearly, because there's nothing people to talk shit about. But I want him to reply if he can by tonight. That'd be great.
I'm sure it'll come eventually.
See, anyway, Jacob deGrom is just the man, and
he's unreal.
We talked about it too.
We talk about it every week because it's consistent. He's consistently unreal. And what much more can you really even say?
Right.
But I will shift gears a little bit and say, Stroman yesterday hitting that clutch double, adding on some insurance runs when,
How about Ron Darling saying a double would be nice here?
Yeah.
And then he hits the double.
It was poetry.
Great.
And that's what I love about Marcus Stroman, especially, is like, he made the error in the previous inning. He probably could have made a more secure throw, whatever. And, I don't know what happened with Pete. Like, it looked like he was trying to hold the ball, but spiked it, whatever. It was a whole mess. And a run scores. And I just love how I doubt this is what he was thinking, because again, he doesn't give a shit what people say. But in my mind, I'm like, oh great, now you're gonna get all these people on Twitter. We're gonna be fucking like, they just love the chance to jump on Marcus Stroman's neck anytime he does something wrong. And I just love how it was not even 10 minutes. He had gotten the run back himself and was pimping it on second base. I love it.
I hear it.
He's just so much fun.
I was trying to find this. I thought
we're shifting gears again.
You haven't seen this yet?
I saw it, but I just wasn't ready to see it in this moment.
Oh, okay.
But I'm ready now.
Let's talk about this because
it's James McCann in a bathtub.
McCann in a bathtub with like a meal.
Love it.
I don't know. It looks like In-N-Out or something like that with a Dr. Pepper. You like In-N-Out?
Oh, I love it. I have only had it like when we went for San Diego. I think that was the first time I had it.
I don't know. I don't know if they had it in San Diego. I only had it once. And it was
I traveled for it. But I remember I specifically saw it in In-N-Out, but I loved it. It was so good.
Unless they have veggie burgers, I'm out on In-N-Out.
Yeah. Not for you.
McCann, if you're not watching, you want to, if you're listening and you want to see
James McCann in a bathtub, which some of the female viewers might.
In an ice bath, or maybe that's a hot bath. I don't know. One or the other. After the game, doing some relaxing there. He's doing this hand motion, which is for the chirv. So all the players have been doing this because they want MLB, or they want the like the scoreboard operators or whoever writes like curve, speed, fastball, whatever, to acknowledge the chirv.
Oh,
which is what Lucchesi throws, right? So they've been doing this hand motion.
Which, I noticed the hand motion. I didn't know
which
that
I've been told over the past year or so is canceled because like that's basically white power.
Okay, yes, that is, right? And this is a thing. Obviously, that
I don't say that he's doing.
No.
But I'm saying like that. I've been told you can't do that anymore.
It has a lot of different meanings, obviously, and I think anyone can do this, and you wouldn't naturally assume it means white power, but over the last year,
depends on who's doing it.
Right, when racial tensions were very publicly high and there were people just being terrible, hateful asshouses out in the world, that was a symbol that they were doing to denote white power. It's also been a thing, like when I was in like college and high school, it was like a stupid game people play, where like a made you look kind of game. Yeah. So it has many meanings. It does not mean white power in this instance. Absolutely not.
I'm very mindful now of like,
I don't think I will do it in the stands, honestly.
Things that can be construed the wrong way. Because then you're like, oh, I got an email we put up photos. I guess Drea took the photos at the beer release party that we had when we had our own beer. And there was a photo gallery put up, and I got a direct message because someone in the bar was like holding the beer and doing the hand motion. Like, oh, good beer, and they're like, probably should take this down. That means white power. I'm like, it does. So I deleted the photo because I didn't want to like cause any problems. But like, yeah, you
learn something new every day.
I was surprised to see as many players. Like the same thing when Stroman got his hit. They were all doing it.
Stroman was doing it, and that's when I was like, okay, there's no way. There's no way. It's anything because
So-
Stroman is very outspoken as he should be about, social injustice and all that stuff. So
and we are a week late on this now because as luck would have it, we're a
Right.
weekly show. But the whole stuff that went down last week with him and his do-rag and Bob
ridiculous.
Brenly was wild. And now we're a week out, and stuff like this, it's weird. Once like the outcry and like everyone gets it out of their systems to write their tweets or write their displeasure of something, then it's gone.
Not for me, honestly, because I made a tweet about it, and I don't know anyone on Twitter probably knows this, but if you have the audacity to call out something as racist on Twitter, you will for the next week minimum just get bots of just being like, you're an idiot, everything's racist nowadays, like whatever. And it's so wild. Like I'm like daily, every time I open my notifications, it's like they're not real people. It's just like, I don't know what world we're living in that this is a thing now, but no. And here's one of those things where it's like, sometimes on the show things happen a week ago, and then by the time we talk about it, it's old news.
Right.
But like, I don't think this kind of thing needs to be old news because it's not. It's everyday news. It happens all the time. That kind of thing.
And you know what? I made a point. I made a tweet on the Seven Lines account like the day after. I can't find it now because it's so far back. Oh no, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's replay this. I can't play the audio because then we'll get flagged for playing the game clip or something like that. So if you don't know, and this you haven't heard, by now, the announcer for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Bob Brenly, who actually used to be the manager for the team a long time ago, he noticed Stroman's was wearing a do-rag underneath his baseball hat. This is, a quick recap. I know you guys already know about this, and said something like, I think that's the same do-rag that Tom Seaver used to wear.
Yeah.
Basically, just like, obviously, Seaver never wore a do-rag.
For obvious reasons.
Well, it's obviously, but it's also like saying, this is not how a pitcher should look.
That's what I'm saying. And people are trying to be like, oh, whatever. Like, people are saying, oh, well, what if he said dOn't? I'm like, but he didn't. He said Tom Seaver, who is known as the most prestigious pitcher in Mets history and who, did everything perfectly because he was whatever. And why make that comparison just to fill dead air?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't think, and this is an important distinction I think people need to make. That was a dumbass comment that shouldn't have been made. It has racist undertones, whether he implied it that way or not. It does.
Right.
And so it doesn't mean that this guy is the devil and that he hates black people and he's an openly racist person. No one's saying that. But when you have a platform and your job is to commentate on hundreds of people of all different ethnicities, with all different ethnicities watching you, you have a responsibility not to say dumb shit like that.
Yeah, of course.
Like there are so many people who would kill to have your job, who could talk about anything else that Marcus Stroman does, aside from the fact that he's wearing a do-rag and Tom Seaver didn't.
I mean,
there's just no reason for it.
We got a guy that says stuff like,
I wasn't talking about the hot dog.
Exactly.
And that's a little different.
Exactly.
Because he's commenting on a pretty woman eating a hot dog.
Oh, wait, I'm wearing a shirt today.
And shout out to Keith Hernandez. Did you make that one?
I made this one. It has I'll totally get sued for this. But it's the.
Well, you don't sell them. That's fine.
No, I don't sell it. It's the Taylor Swift 1989 border. Her album is 1989. This was his 1989 playing card. It's whatever, but neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. But yes, like, listen, most broadcasters nowadays are of an older generation who, and again, I think we need to be as much as there should be a zero tolerance policy for any kind of racist bullshit, we do have to be mindful of the fact that different generations are going to interpret different things as problematic or not. It's what they do when they're given the information that what they've said is wrong. That's, how
this
you
is
go
also
from
part of the problem with the game. Like you can't attract new viewers or younger audience when you have like old racist, I'm not saying he's racist, old guys saying things that aren't acceptable in today's
and there's again
culture on live television.
Right. And another important thing, the word racist, people hear that and they just get their panties in a bunch and can't understand. Racist doesn't mean you hate black people or hate any minority. To be racist is just, it's a prejudice. It's a bias. It's something that you can have without even realizing it just because you don't have enough life experience outside of it. It doesn't mean you're a terrible person, but you're allowed to be called out for it and be better.
You know what's good? Not to completely transition off the
That's
topic,
fine.
but what's good about, Scott Braun?
Yes.
He's younger, very talented. Like guys like that, or Janela, who had a wild tweet the other day that went like,
I saw that.
1 million
I saw
retweets or something like that.
Crazy.
He's younger, bringing youth into the sport or bringing youth into like the booth, or
there's nothing wrong with a fresh perspective.
Or like Jacob Resnick, who is now working with SNY.
He's killing it.
This is a complete transition of a racial topic, but I'm saying like younger people, get people involved in the broadcast or working for networks and like even me, I'm fucking old now. So like having you around and Danny and, shit like that is great for even just this brand, like get the youths involved. But
no, completely.
So this is what I had said the next day. And unfortunately, I wasn't trying to like call out Boomer and Geo and shows like that, but I didn't hear about this at all.
No, because they don't want to touch it, because they're going to get callers who they know are going to say shit live on the air that they can't erase and they can't cover up and whatever. And I'm sorry. It's just, Marcus Stroman is, there's so many things to talk about with Marcus Stroman. If you need to fill 5 seconds of dead air, you don't need to comment on his do-rag. And what made me feel awful was Marcus Stroman. Obviously, there was a very disappointing end to that game. He gave up I think it was a home run, and they ended up losing,
then there was almost like a fight.
Yes, there were so many other things, but then, that's a frustrating game as a pitcher. And then to pick up your phone, and I'm sure he's probably getting texts from family and friends being like, yo, did you see what this guy said?
Yeah, he retweeted everyone.
Yeah.
Which is good.
But it is good. But like,
what about the dude that was in his DM who like works for like the Department of Defense or something like that?
And again, that's
crazy.
People, but he deals with it every single. That's what I'm saying is I have been getting messages of hate just for simply calling this out for a week. Imagine what Marcus Stroman's get every. I could not, and this is why people use the term white savior or whatever, but like.
I never heard
people who these problems actually affect have to deal with this every single day. Not only the criticisms, but the actual offense and whatever. Your white friends can take 5 seconds out of their day to acknowledge this is fucked up and take that burden off of you for 30 seconds of their life. So,
well, let's talk about someone that's on our side, who is an older man as well. But Howie Rose is going to be timeless with this team, and the radio voice of the Mets for a long time now. And also the master of ceremonies, which we'll talk about in a second too, about what they announced for August. But he did chime in the next day saying on Twitter, he would love to see 26 Mets players with do-rags under their caps walk out behind home plate and tip their caps to the D-backs TV booth, showing their solidarity and support of Stro. I hope Brenly reaches out privately to Marcus and offers an apology, which I heard he did. Yeah. But it's almost like too little too late.
Yeah.
Because he said something about like a few years ago, which this I don't think is racial either. I think it's kind of a observation, something about like, oh, Tatis would be a faster runner if he didn't have that like bicycle chain around his neck, because he had like a gigantic chain, which is that I don't think is that bad.
No, I just think it's one of those things. The butt of this joke,
which I think if Keith Hernandez said, we'd be like, oh, it's funny,
But the thing is, this joke, and it's like the butt of the joke is, oh, Tom Seaver would never wear a do-rag, and it's because Tom Seaver's hair doesn't require a do-rag to maintain it. So the butt of the joke is basically Tom Seaver isn't black. That's a racist joke, a bad one. It's not even funny, and there's no getting around that. Did he mean to be hateful and hurtful? I don't think so. I just think he didn't realize it, and that's a problem. That's somebody who doesn't realize it.
Now he's going as like a 60-something. I think he's like 67. As a 67-year-old man, they're now sending him to sensitivity training. Like, come on. If you are who you are by the time you're almost 70, that's who you are.
I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with education, but again, people are who they are.
So speaking of Howie Rose, he is going to be. I'm just saying that he is. I don't know if he is, but I think he's going to probably be hosting the Tom Seaver statue.
He better be.
Unveiling, which has now been pushed to 2022, which is a smart idea, because then they're gonna. I bet you by opening day 2022, you're not gonna need to have a vaccination.
I was gonna say they probably want full capacity for that, as they should. Yeah, it's what he deserves.
And the Seaver family deserves that.
Right.
So another thing that just came out a couple days ago was that the Kuzman number retirement, which was supposed to happen last year, is now being pushed to August 28th, which is
this year.
Which is also an outing day.
Cool.
So if you are a member, you already have tickets to that game if you are vaccinated.
Awesome.
I don't see them lifting that vaccination requirement for the rest of the year. I don't know. Either. I'm not putting words in the Mets' mouth. But once they roll this way, I feel like that's just the way it's going to be.
At least until,
even though other teams aren't doing that, we'll see.
Yeah.
But on the shows where I'm like, oh, we don't have that much to talk about, we ended up getting 40 minutes in.
That's crazy. I know.
Because we still have a few important things to touch on. So
I know.
Definitely share the show if you're watching live, and that's how you're put in the running to get some free stuff. But this Wednesday morning, we are, and you know what? Also, remember I told you last week, I was like, I'm going to bring 2 Coors Lights and I'll have them in West Virginia. I had 0 because
you were under a bike.
Because because that, it is what it is. But if you want to join us in Philly, I think I just said Pittsburgh, but if you want to join us in Philly,
I'm all in.
Those tickets go up this Wednesday, if I can get this going here, this Wednesday morning. So the way we're working it is our members, our home package members, there's 602 members at Citi Field. We only have a little over 800 tickets for Philly. I think I talked about this last week.
Yes.
So the members are going to get a 2-hour pre-sale window on Wednesday morning, starting at 8 a.m. So from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., if you're a member, you don't have to like fight the internet to try to get through. You can get through. And looking at numbers from the past, I think, what did you say, Lizzie? We'd have like half or a third of members would go to outings through the pre-sale. So let's say 200 people from the membership will, well, maybe more because Philly's close.
Right.
Let's say 50%.
Yeah, me and Katie plan on joining ourselves.
Yeah. So let's say 300 fans want to go to Philly out of our membership. So that drops us down to like 500 that will be available for the public. So the public tickets will go, is that math right? Yeah, I think so. So the public tickets will go up this Wednesday at 10 a.m. on the 7line.com. Just click the button on the top that says Philly, and it brings you to the listing. The tickets are $60 a person. It's a ticket in the scoreboard porch, which is very similar to like the Coke Corner at Citi Field, but like a condensed version of it. Like you can see it there in the photo. It's a little bit smaller, not as many rows, but it's wider, I think. The special event t-shirt and the special event patch. No proof of vaccination is needed in Philly or negative COVID tests. So if you aren't vaccinated and you want to hit this game, you can still go. You don't have to worry about any restrictions on that front. And if you do want to take a bus from Citi Field, we always set that up for the close trip. So we do a rally bus from Citi Field or New Brunswick, New Jersey. There's 2 different departure spots. Brings you to the game, and then you get back to that bus. Don't forget where it is. Yeah. And that's how you get your ride home. So cool. The same as we did for the hotel in Pittsburgh, we will send out the link for the bus after the tickets are sold to people who buy the tickets. So that's how we're going to run that. Awesome. LA, who, let me check my email quick, because my LA rep was supposed to get back to me, and I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I'm not quite sure he got back to me yet this morning. Oh, damn it.
Oh, no. We have to verify it's Darren.
Let me do it on my phone. I don't know if he got back to me yet. I know they're 3 hours behind, so he's probably just trying to catch up on, I just got another text that's very important.
Can we share?
Yes, in a second.
Okay.
So let me double check and see if I got an email from Jackson out in California, and I don't think he got back to me yet. So unfortunately, there are a few things that have to do with the LA outing that is holding us back from announcing the price. Okay. And that's the reason why I haven't announced the date yet. Well, I did announce the date. We are selling them no matter what. They're going to be sold next Wednesday, the 16th at 10 a.m. So next Wednesday, they're going to be sold on our site. Lizzie's in the back eating a salad, asking if I'm trying to kill her. But no, I'm not trying to kill you. Keep eating salad. You'll live longer. Oh my God,
I'm so hungry. You're killing me right now.
So the LA tickets are going to go up next week. The reason why I don't have the price yet is there are, I think we're taking up 3 sections. Okay. There's a 4th section with an extra 300 tickets that I'm trying to get. I think last week I talked about that. Talked about that, yeah. We had 1,000 seats. They're trying to get us 300 more or something like that. And the price is different per section. Oh. So either they're trying to see if they can match the price, or what we're going to do is come up with the collective of what that cost is, and then, average it out to what it is per ticket underneath our umbrella. So one person might say like, whatever, it's $50, and the other one might say 52. Yeah. And I don't want you to be like, mine's 50. Why is your 52? Yeah. So like, to avoid any confusion, we're trying to figure that out. So either way, the tickets will go up next Wednesday. Cool. So this Wednesday is Philly. Next Wednesday, the 16th, is LA. I'm sure we'll talk about it next week on the show. So definitely set your alarms and join us out there. LA is like kind of inconvenient as far as like hotels and like pre-gaming spots, but we're going to figure out something fun to do when we're out there. Awesome. So that's a story with that. But my text message was just from Elvis. Oh. So not only are we bringing the truck to the marina, he's going to DJ. So it's his first time DJing. Tailgate party on Saturday. If you aren't a member or don't have tickets with us, join us anyway. Park in the marina lot. Should be fun. Our first time in 2 years, basically. Well, so exciting. A year and 8 months or something like that. So it should be a great time. Don't forget though, like, don't overdo it at the tailgate party. Oh my God, no. We still have a baseball game to go to. Survive the game. Don't be that person. Yeah. Don't be that guy or gal. Falling asleep in the section. You know who you are. Oh yeah, breaking news music. You know what? I'm so behind the ball here. But either way, I like this one better. We're back on Saturday. Should be fun. Hopefully I didn't just blow out your ears. Yeah, and also share the show and do all that stuff. But to get prepped for the weekend, you should absolutely be stocking up on some Coors Lights. Hell yeah. We are very well stocked on Coors Light. Our Drizly shipment came in. Let's give them a straight shout out. Our Coors shipment came in because when I was in West Virginia, which if you forgot I was there, I get a text from Lizzie with a photo of what our, like, this isn't a kitchen. What do you call this? Break room, like kitchenette area. filled basically to the roof with Coors product. So shout out to them for hooking us up. It's a beautiful site. I don't want to post a photo. I did. Oh, it was raining?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was. I had to drain my pool when I got home on
Terrible.
yesterday morning because if it gets too high, the skimmers don't work. So I had a lot to do yesterday. So anyway, I think last year I did post a photo. I wasn't trying to like show off about how much free beer we got, but we have a great selection here.
Yeah.
So you should do the same
options.
and stock up. But you got to pay for yours. Sorry. Go to Drizly or Instacart. You type in your address. You type in Coors, obviously. You select what you want to purchase. And, we recommend the Coors Light American Lager beer. You can get either the 12-ounce cans, the bottles. Well, it really depends on where you live. But this is for the 41 Seaver Way. So if you're trying to get beers delivered to Citi Field, maybe you're McCann, you want to wash down that In-N-Out or whatever you eat after a game with a nice beer, it should be Coors Light. So definitely always make sure the mountains or the sunglasses are blue. Press reset and chill. Always a great beverage to have on hand when you're trying to reset and just relax. So Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, and always remember to drink responsibly. I am going to have a decent amount of Coors Lights. Maybe 2 or 3. I got to drive, so maybe I'll have a few before the game, and then hours later I'll drive back to Long Island.
Yeah, you're driving me home, so you better be responsible.
Well, you're my kid, so I have to make sure that you're taken care of on Saturday. Maybe we'll give you a little of allowance in the ballpark.
Heck yeah, please,
to get some gummy bears or something, or the Polar Burger. I don't know, whatever you want. But I'm not waiting online for you. You're
that's
you're
fine.
a kid, but you're old enough to wait online.
I'm a
by
self-sufficient
yourself.
kid. Yeah, no, I'm good.
So that's the story. Definitely pick up your Coors Lights and drink them responsibly. So we're gonna have. I'm so excited for Saturday because now I've had a pretty crazy week. Right, I went to West Virginia, as you've heard, and then
one of the fact checkers go back and count how many times we said West Virginia in this episode.
Yesterday was the recital. Wednesday I'm going to Baltimore. Saturday we're going to be at Citi Field.
Right.
It should be fun. And Wednesday, with Harvey night. That'd be cool just to be there and watch him pitch again. So that's gonna be fun. So
no, that's awesome.
That's the story with that.
So, I had a fun weekend. So I had my brother's engagement party.
Yeah, I saw that.
And actually at my brother's engagement party, one of his friends, Matt Castagna, he watches the show. Shout out to him. He came up to me. He was like, I use that Dugout Mugs promo code that you gave. And I'm obsessed with it. I show it to everyone, whatever. So
did he get it as a groomsman gift?
No.
Oh, you just got one.
It's too early in the process.
Oh, gotcha.
But no, he just got one for himself and he loves it. So Matt Castagna recommends checking out Dugout Mugs. Use our promo code.
Absolutely. So dugoutmugs.com. Father's Day is coming up. Make sure you hook up your dad or someone else's dad that you're friends with a nice Dugout mug. They got the mugs, they got the wine mugs, they got the bottle openers, the knob shots, they got a whole bunch of stuff. And all made down in Florida by a great group of guys and gals. And Dugout Mugs has been a great friend of the show for a couple of years now. But definitely don't forget to use our promo code. It is just the number 7, LINE, 7 line, and it gets you 35% off of anything that's MLB branded on their website. So definitely check them out. It's a great idea. They take the top of a bat and turn it into a 12-ounce mug. It's phenomenal. So definitely check them out. Dugoutmugs.com, promo code 7line. Number 7, LINE for 35% off all of your selections. So you know what's crazy? Like I was just talking to someone earlier about this. It has nothing to do with us because through the past year, even when Lizzie wasn't working here, we had a very she was still working for the sideline, but she wasn't here.
Remote.
So many places, Maureen's Kitchen.
Do I know Maureen's
Kitchen? I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
We actually, in one of our group chats, we talked about Maureen's Kitchen.
Big on Maureen's.
How many places have help wanted signs now?
I know.
Because people are getting all these free checks and it's like no one wants to work.
I know.
But I don't even know where I got there, but I was just thinking about something to do with working and employment. And maybe it's because I was thinking about Danny.
Oh, okay.
Danny. If you don't know, you're actually working on Saturday. So I don't know what I'm going to pay you yet, but you're going to be doing something if you're going to the game and you want to do that. You know what? He wants to do it.
He's going to do it.
He's going to do it.
Congratulations, Danny. On your job.
Congratulations. So as we talked about last week, we said, 30 games in 30 days. Yes. And I don't think we really broke it down as to how that was happening with the doubleheaders. But look at this stat, or look at this. I know you can't see it from where you're sitting there, but
I'll zoom.
They have off. I mean, they just played they're playing the Orioles the next 2 days.
Yeah, they're off today and
they're
Thursday.
Off on Thursday. After Thursday, they're playing 15 games in 13 days.
Yikes.
No off days and 2 doubleheaders in 13 days. So between this coming Friday and the 23rd against the Braves at Citi Field, they're playing 15 games in 13 days.
That's
intense. Wild.
Yeah.
So we're saying like the guys, and look at who they're playing. They're playing the Nationals. They're playing the Braves.
Well, hey, the Nationals suck this year, so
yeah, but like we're talking about the East.
I know. You got to
is
take those. This is the important stretch of the season, right? It's June, which always gives us trouble. This is going to be it right here. If they're going to be a team that can go somewhere this season, or if they're just kind of like riding a hot streak and going to fizzle out, they got to win these games.
Yeah.
This is
the reason someone else was talking about Morin's Kitchen. The reason I brought it up, they actually have to close one day a week now.
I know they close on Tuesdays.
But you know why?
No.
I talked to the staff there. They're never closed.
I just discovered this last week that they were closing.
Thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
And I said, why? Like this place is a gold mine.
Popping, yeah.
They can't find people to work, so they need to give people a day off. So they can't find people that even want to work in the kitchen or work in the wait staff. So like the people who work there, I think that's, I don't know why I was thinking about it.
Right.
The people who work there are so overworked. They're working 6 days a week now. They don't have a day off.
Yeah.
Like we need to close for a day so everyone can get a day off because people just don't want to work.
That's wild.
Everyone's getting their free checks.
I would love to work at Maureen's Kitchen. It's cow themed. It's fun. The food is delicious.
They could have Cattleman go out front.
They should. We should have a Mets thing at Maureen's Kitchen.
And Cattleman just
stands out.
That would be a great. That would be a.
We're gonna work on this.
He's just standing next to
like
people while they're eating.
Fundraiser. Yeah. Well, we're gonna work on it. There's actual cows outside. Well,
Cattleman,
fake cows.
I'm trying to eat my stuffed French toast. Can you please leave my ear with
cannoli
this
stuffed French toast? If you ever go to Maureen's Kitchen and it's a special, you need to get it.
Yeah. So I think Cattleman was actually in the comments before.
Amazing.
Saying that he hopes that Saturday is wild at Citi Field, which I think it will be.
It will be for sure.
Let's get to last week's share contest winners.
Yes.
Before I forget to do it. On last week, we asked you guys to share the Twitter and share the Facebook, hit the little retweet button.
You've never sounded like more of a boomer than when you said share the Twitter.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm getting older. I'm in my advanced age.
Post it on your wall.
So if you want to be in the running for this week to win next week, that's how you do it. Just post it. But on last week's show, the winner, for this, I'm so confused right now.
You've had like 7 strokes on the show today.
The winner from last week on Twitter is at Candy Lane 8.
Ooh.
And on Facebook, it is Clay J. Manusi. So I will contact you guys soon, and that's how you will get the free stuff. If you want to win next week, hit the little button, and that's how you'll be put in the running. So did you happen to see this on Twitter? I know you're always on the Twitter.
I'm
trying to be on the Twitter. That?
I did not. Whose is that?
That is Audrey. Audrey is awesome.
Awesome.
Audrey's been part of the crew for a while. She's not a season ticket member, but she hits a lot of outings.
I relate.
And she obviously purchases a lot of our stuff as well. So
I love it.
This is her t-shirt quilt from Project Repat. If you can't see it or don't recognize all the shirts, some of them are older. And what you do notice here on the bottom right is the Amazing tank. So that's the one that says they're real and they're amazing.
Oh, I remember that one.
Which is a shout out to Seinfeld from They're Real and They're Spectacular. But that's a tank top. So if you think of it this way, you could basically turn anything into a t-shirt quilt. So she has the NL Beast, the Believe in Harvey, Stay True to Orange and Blue. She has basically all these except for like 4 are the 7-line t-shirts. So if you guys want to get involved in getting a t-shirt quilt of your own, go to Project Repat USA on Instagram, and all you have to do is simply follow their account. They have 205,000 followers. They have 500,000 happy customers. They are made in North Carolina and Texas. They take your t-shirts or your tank tops or your jerseys or whatever they may be and turn it into a t-shirt quilt. Audrey's a happy customer. So am I, my parents, MJ and Nancy, a bunch of our friends. Brew has one. A bunch of people have them. Kevin in California has them. And they make a great idea, great gift, great Father's Day gift. You could always purchase the quilt and put it into a card because you don't know what they want to what they want to use yet.
We got this for you. You make it, but we're paying for it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. So definitely check them out. Project Repat USA on Instagram. If you follow their account, that's how you're put in the running to win a free t-shirt quilt. They give away 1 per month to Mets fans. And they simply scroll through their followers and see who is wearing something orange and blue or something Mets related.
Right.
And that's how you're selected as the winner. So also, if you go to their website, that's how you put your email address in, and you can get a discount on some stuff if you don't happen to win. So custom t-shirt quilts make great gifts, great idea. And we are basically a t-shirt business, or we do sell a lot of t-shirts. So it makes sense. Very natural
Dream collab
combination there between
for sure.
our two companies there. So Saturday should be fun. I think we covered all the bases here.
Oh wait, I'm thirsty. I have this water bottle.
So,
it has something fancy on it.
If you're listening afterwards, you can't
see
see it. And if you're, I'm so far away here from the camera,
I
but
am really thirsty.
the pride filled, the pride flag stickers with the 7-line logos came in. We were talking about this last week, and that's the same thing we were talking about, to jump around a little bit here, with the Stroman topic about why it's important to talk about things when you have a platform. So is this. So the reason
100%.
why we do show support to Pride is because we feel that it's important when you have a platform to use it on things you believe in. So
absolutely.
These Pride stickers, I will have them at the 7-line truck on Saturday at the game. I'm not going to bring all of them because I want to save some for game 2, but we have 2,000 of them. So I think we should have enough to go around. So if you want one for free, you want one for a friend or someone else that's interested in getting a sticker, you just tell us. I'll give you more than one. I'm not going to be that stingy with them. So come on out on Saturday and we should have a great time. So in the meantime, if you're watching live, we appreciate your views. And we thought about this. We want to start giving out an award each week.
We need like a shtick.
So no, not a shtick. We want to involve you guys in this.
Yes.
So every week until the Bench Mob or the ReplaceMets aren't a thing anymore, we want to pick a Bench Mob player of the week. So come up with some ideas. Think about who you think over the next week from now until next Monday is the Bench Mob player of the week.
I think the fact checkers should decide it because they're the ones who are always correcting us. They're obviously right. So,
right.
Make your case in the comments next week of who you think it should be, and we'll pull up the best ones.
Yeah. So think about that from now until next Monday. If you guys are going to watch the show live next Monday, think about the Bench Mob player of the week. We'll ask for nominations and we'll pick one of you guys to, highlight your name on the bottom as the winner. So think about it. And hopefully the Mets continue to win. I know this weekend's going to be another tough battle against the Padres. Hopefully they can take 2 against the Orioles.
DeGrom on Friday night, though.
I wish it was Saturday. But
I know.
DeGrom on Friday night. Hopefully.
Do we get Stroman then Saturday? No.
I think it's Lucchesi. Fuego.
Oh, okay.
But he's gonna be fine. Fuego's gonna do it big for us on Saturday. I'm ready. I mean, look at it. Last game we had with the lineup, and then they scored like 13 runs.
Yep. I'm all about it.
We're good. All right, guys. Enjoy your week. Stay warm. Stay cool while Julia's going to the beach.
Bye, guys.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Put it in the box.
Oh!
Switched it up.
Switched it up.
Switched it up this week.
All right.
Later,
Sounds
guys.
good. Bye.